All right, next up, y'all know him. He been on the pod a handful of times. Most recently on the Thor: Love and Thunder spoiler discussion. My dog, my brother, my family. Legacy, man. Legacy. Hip hop done provided me like two different intros for you, and I love them both. So that's what the world getting.
I mean, it's me, bro.
It's
It's me. You know
me.
what I'm saying?
So
What's
man,
going on?
let's just jump right in and kick this off, cause real life situation. You had yourself a night. So what's your earliest memory that you can think of that got you interested? Like yes, like movies is my shit.
Well, I grew up on movies, so my mom loved movies. So, I grew up watching movies my whole life. And my uncles, my mom was a teenager when she had me. So you got to think, but she was in the culture. You know what I'm saying? And my uncles were younger than her. So I was exposed to everything, hip hop, everything. So, I would probably say Friday, man. Friday was probably, we were born in 86 when Friday came out in what, 92?
95.
95, 95. Yeah, so I think that was probably the movie where like I remember like ha ha laughing like, oh, movies, you know
Man,
what I'm
look what
saying?
you did to my
But
curtain.
that was when I was like the age old enough to know like I like movies.
Yeah,
But I was already watching the Disney movies long before that. You know what I mean? So but Friday was probably the first like, oh, I love movies type of thing. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say that.
bet. All right, so let's see. Like 2 through 6 is gonna be like I tell everybody that I hope it's understood, but I'm still explaining like all time favorites. Everything I
Oh,
ask. So number 2, what's your favorite movie of all time?
favorite movie all time. This is a tough question for anybody, bruh. This is a tough question because
That's
you
what I
have
do.
to narrow down movies to one.
That's what I do.
Uh, but I would have to say, I'm going to say today, Paid in Full is my favorite movie of all time.
That's a good one. I bet that you're gonna be the only person to say that. That's what's up. That was the
That's
point. That was the point of doing this. Everybody be the only one to say their own answers. So I mean you know this, but I'm gonna still explain. Number 3, favorite franchise. Basically anything that's got a sequel. Like I told somebody like the M like like the MCU is a franchise but got franchises within it. But then
right.
like Lethal Weapon, Halloween, Leprechaun, fucking Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter franchise. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. Um, um, franchise wise, um, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm not going to lie,
All
but I'm
right,
going to say the MCU Avengers movies. Like if you take everything out, you just do the Avengers movies. I'm going to do that.
that's not
Um,
cheating.
just because that first Avengers movies was so groundbreaking. Ultron was definitely a continuation movie, right? I kind of count Civil War, even though it's not considered an Avengers movie, but it
Yeah,
kind of continued more with the Avengers story than everything
it's
else,
like 2.5.
right? And then, I mean, you're gonna have to, you would, if you put Infinity War and Endgame against anything, like it's holding its own. So, you
Facts.
know, I'm gonna go with that.
All right, all time favorite action movie.
All time favorite action movie. Ooh, that's a good one. My all-time favorite action movie. Do we count MCU movies as action movies?
I mean the way I'm breaking it down to everybody is action. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be like a buddy cop, like Lethal Weapon, Bad Boys, Rush Hour. It could be comic book shit. It could be westerns. Whatever you categorize as action.
Um, favorite action movie. I'm gonna go with Bad Boys. Bad Boys is my favorite action movie.
That's a good ass answer.
Yeah, yeah.
All time favorite comedy.
Ooh, so let's get dicey for me, man, because there's so many different
Yeah.
kind of comedies.
I asked a gang of people who love to laugh, and like comedy is where everybody has to like double
Comedy,
take
bro.
is an underrated comedy.
Uh, man, it's definitely it's definitely between Friday. Man, I'm going with Friday, man. Friday.
Don't play with me, Smokey. That's $200. That's $100. I fucked up the quote
Man,
on my own podcast.
what's crazy is that I laugh at Friday After Next. I only watch it on Christmas Day, but I laugh at that movie probably just as much as the first one. But yeah, just the classic feel of Friday,
What you
man.
doing in my
Friday.
house making a big ass
Oh,
sandwich
hold on, hold on,
for?
hold on. I'm lying.
Making a
I'm
big
lying.
ass
Time
sandwich
out.
and shit.
Can I audible?
Go
It's not
ahead. Change the
life.
change the play at the
Life is
line
my
of scrimmage,
favorite.
Peyton.
Life is the fun. Is my favorite comedy.
Life is hysterical. Life
Life.
in let's for I'm gonna treat my audience like they stupid. Not Life with Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds. Life with Eddie and Martin,
Yes. Yes. I quote that movie in my life more than I quote Friday, which is crazy.
which is
But
insane.
right.
Come on, bro.
Yeah. Listen, I love Friday, but life, man,
So
it's never not funny, bro.
you gonna eat your cornbread?
Well, you gonna eat your cornbread? Yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna eat my cornbread. Yeah, that's my joint, bro. That's my funniest movie.
All right, next up, all time favorite horror movie.
Oh man, we talking Halloween, man. We talking Michael Myers, bro. You want me? I got to pick just one.
I mean that's the intention. Like narrow it down to one specific movie.
Man, this is tough. I'm not gonna lie, man. I really, really, when it comes to Halloween, I really love the first Rob Zombie Halloween movie, man. I love that first one.
You're not the first person to say that.
That's if I had to pick, like if I'm introducing somebody to Michael Myers and and Halloween and what it is, I probably would show them that movie. That movie is so good, man. The second one, it went where it went, but that first one is like you watch it, you're like, oh, this is crazy the whole time. So yeah, I'm good with that.
I agree. I completely agree. Number 7, nostalgia pick. What's a movie that you love that you grew up on that don't matter what the masses say, good, bad, is somewhere in between. Ain't nobody gonna convince you that that's not a good movie.
Aladdin, bro. Let's talk about it.
All right.
Chopper brother, bro. Aladdin. I don't care what nobody say. You never moving Aladdin off top one or two for me. Period. It ain't gonna happen.
All right. What's a movie that you saw at an age when you was probably too young to be watching that shit?
Um, um, I got two, man. I gotta pick one.
Spit it.
Um, Tales from the Hood, bro. I still to this day will not watch that shit again, bro. That shit bugs me, bro. I hate that movie, bro. I hate it, bro. I should not have seen that movie, man. With them little dolls, with the Martin Luther King, with the chemistry set, with the devil at the man, bro. Tales from the Hood is my number one. Candyman is also right beside it though. Like, bro, I really don't rock with either one of them, bro. I obviously have a problem with horror movies involving black people. I'm not gonna
Right. Let me see. What's your earliest memory of going to the movie theater?
It's my earliest memory, and it's hilarious if I'm being honest. Um, my mom was so excited to go to the movies to see Independence Day, bro. Like she was so excited, man. And I went to the movies before that, but it didn't stick in my mind
Yeah.
the way that it did, right? But she was so excited to see Independence Day, she had to see it, and she's into that stuff even to this day, and I am too. But we go to the movies, and she's so excited, and it's her husband at the time, me and my brothers. We're all in the movies. Every one of us besides her fell asleep, bro. We fell asleep at Independence Day.
How
She
y'all fall
walked
asleep watching
ahead.
Independence Day?
bro, we were little, man. We were little, and it was like,
Man, but it's
bro,
Fresh Prince.
bro, we were little, man. We fell asleep. She was pissed. She was like, "I'm never taking you out to the movie." Yeah, bro. Like, yeah, that was like my earliest memory. That's hilarious.
All right. Next up, what's a movie that your closest people? I'm your brother. That your family, your friends, people that really know you would be like that would be surprised that you're interested in that you a fan of.
Um, ooh, that's a good question. A movie that I'm a fan of that A Devil in a Blue Dress, bro.
Okay, okay, some OG Denzel. Okay,
Yeah,
what?
I think that's the movie that I like. That nobody, if I said it, they'd be like, "What?" Like they wouldn't expect that answer from me.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you a secret. It's like it's Denzel, so like ain't nobody gonna be shocked. But I'll accept that answer. Uh,
Have you ever heard me even say anything about that movie before in my
nah,
life?
nah. I it just come out. It just come out on Criterion, so I just bought it, but I ain't never seen it before.
Right. But if you
Um,
watched it, you'll be like, "Oh, he likes this." Like, yeah, I think you'll
yeah,
like
I think it. I think it's kind of like an OG, like 30s, 40s, kind of like noir murder mystery.
it. Right.
But I'm just
So
guessing. What's a classic that you've never seen before?
I've never watched the Godfather movie.
You've never seen The Godfather?
Nope.
Low key, it's kind of blasphemous. So you gonna have to fix that. Like when the babies go to sleep.
But
Um,
I feel like, but bro, I feel like anybody who answers this question is being blasphemous. If you're being honest, it's a classic that you haven't seen. So every answer is gonna be a blasphemous answer.
that's true. Um, what's a movie that you have been meaning to rewatch? Like you ain't had time, but you like want to watch that shit again?
Ooh. See, my answer has to change because of yesterday. See, I was supposed to rewatch The Batman, right?
Okay.
And I have been saying I was going to rewatch it, and I did rewatch it yesterday, right? A movie I've been meaning to rewatch because I haven't seen it in a while is Flight with Denzel.
That's a good one. Flight is really good.
Flight is incredible.
All right, last up, and
Oh man, bruh.
I feel like I know what you gonna say, and we got like personal history on what I think you gonna say. But what's a movie that first time you seen that shit, it crushed you? You was the what movie disappointed you the most? Last question.
Bruh. Thor Love and Thunder, bruh. That one hurt me, bruh. That one hurt me. That one hurt me. See, like with the Iron Man one, because the first half of it was so incredible, it hurt.
Yeah,
It hurt me, but it was more like, bruh, I can't believe they did that, right? They ruined a classic, right? With this one, I was like, oh, this is bad. Like this is bad. I mean, the fact that like we put so much into this movie because we knew this movie was gonna be good, right? Like because we knew it was gonna be good. You flew out for it. We hadn't seen each other in years. It was like this is we're gonna experience this good movie together and enjoy it and talk about it and pod about it. And then we both saw it and we had similar feelings. It was that I think the fact that you felt the same exact way I did made it even more disappointing to me. And
I liked it like a like chin hair more than you, but
right,
it was still a letdown.
we saw, but we had some of the same problems with it, though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And because we're so invested in the MCU and us having the same problem, it was like, okay, this is real. This is not just a me thing. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Yeah, I left. That one hurt, man. We because we put so much into it and we picked a movie to see together that we knew was going to be good, right?
And it just wasn't.
And it just wasn't, bro. That hurt. Yeah, that one that hurt.
Yeah. Like I told you while I was there, like it's wild that the low point of my trip was the movie.
Right. Yeah, that's yeah,
But yeah,
that hurt. That one hurt.
but yeah, family. You know, you got an open invitation to join the pod whenever you want, man. I appreciate you jumping in with us, and let's move on to the next Q&A. Next up, man, we got the big dog, man, Hector. What's up, man?
What's up, man? What's up? How you doing, bro?
Man, chilling, man. I cooked up these questions. I had this cool idea. You know, I did, like I explained, like off wax, like I've done the pod for so long. I've never really done like the job interview, like what got you in the movie thing. So I thought it'd be fun.
Yeah.
And
That's cool, man. Yeah, man. I've been looking forward to coming back on your podcast. I always have a great time.
for sure, yeah, man. Yeah, I love having you on, man. Maybe Black Adam, Shazamish. We bring you back.
All right, sure.
So number
Sure.
one, what's your earliest memory of like what made you a movie fan?
My earliest memory, what made me a movie fan, was just walking into my stepdad's movie collection, his VHS collection, back in his early '90s, and just looking at all these movies, man, and then kind of like not really correlating that this is the same stuff I see. Yeah, there was a back in the old days at the Smith's shopping centers. We had the Blockbuster that
Okay.
was attached to the grocery stores,
Yeah.
and I never really knew what that was. And then when I started getting into my dad's movies, and it started standing out to me, and then I just started getting hooked on movies, and I just wanted to see. I mean, most of them weren't really appropriate for me at the time, like not like X-rated movies, but they're like horror movies and
Yeah.
stuff. He had he had a huge horror collection. But yeah, man, my stepdad's movie collection, man, really got me hooked on him.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like pretty much everybody I have on here was surrounded by movies growing up. So,
Yep, yep.
what's your all-time favorite movie?
The Crow, hands down, The Crow, Brandon Lee.
Dope.
Um, tragic. You know, everyone knows the story.
Yeah, for sure.
It's tragic what happened on set, but that's a movie that still hasn't been. I don't think will ever be topped. For me
Well, was
personally.
Bradley Cooper, Jason Momoa? They'll never recapture. They're trying to remake it, right?
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah, man. I mean, I respect Jason Momoa for stepping out of the project, for doing it. You know, he stepped out of it and kind of declined after watching the script and pretty much saying this is gonna be a shit. So
Hell yeah. Actually, Rapid Fire turns 30 today.
oh wow, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, dang, I didn't even know that. 30 already, man. Damn, that was a
Yep.
good one.
So, what's next? All-time favorite franchise.
My all-time favorite franchise, I still am. It's like just like a toss-up because there's just like every franchise has like weak movies, and like it's still I have the Star Wars franchise is really good, but there's a few that and I do like the Harry Potter franchise a lot, even though I don't really talk about it. But it's just Star Wars for me. I mean, everyone that watches movies, there's at least one or two films in there that they really drawn to, and it kind of from all generations. Like
Yeah.
the older generation has the prequels and then the trilogy, the newer ones, and so I it's got to be Star Wars at the end of the day for me.
Yeah, that's a popular pick on this episode. So, action. What's your all-time favorite action movie?
All time favorite action movie, I gotta say, uh, man, that was a good. I didn't really write that one down there. Right there.
I were like cop movies, westerns, comic books, just whatever you connect
Yeah,
with.
I'm trying to figure. Yeah, I put the first Transformers as one just because I remember like that was the first of its kind,
Yeah.
and the action like back I was really young and watching that in theaters it was really exciting. So between the first Transformers and Infinity War, Avengers Infinity War,
Dope.
a lot of action, packed
Hell
jam
yeah.
packed with a lot of action.
All right. All-time favorite comedy.
All time favorite comedy, it's got to be Step Brothers.
Gosh. Yeah, man. I laugh my ass off at that.
I also put like Pineapple Express, but it was just it was a tie between those two. That movie just always makes me laugh. My best friend back at home, we drop lines, movie lines from that movie all day long in between text messages and stuff. So yeah, Step Brothers for me.
2008 alone was just a great year for comedy. So,
oh yeah, sure.
All-time favorite horror movie?
The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Okay.
Yeah, that movie scared the shit out of me. I couldn't sleep for a little bit. And I'm Mexican, so you have Catholics in your family that talk about exorcisms. Then so.
I get it. Nostalgic pick, like something that you grew up with, childhood, whatever. That no matter who says what about it, nobody's gonna convince you it's a bad movie.
You ready for this? Man of the House with Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Hey, me and Nick were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, man. I used to watch that movie. My friend had it on VHS, and when we was elementary school, and we used to always pop it on when we had like sleepovers or whatever. And that's just been one of those movies that never really gets old with me.
Hey, that's a good ass answer though. What's a movie that you saw, like we're around the same age group, like we had them parents that as long as they was in the room they weren't tripping, but what's something that you watched when you were probably too young to be watching it?
Desperado, Antonio Banderas, Salma Hayek.
Yes.
Yeah, buddy.
Yes.
Yeah, man, that movie, that was my first time seeing all the love scene between the two.
The goods. What's your earliest memory of going to the theater?
Earliest memory, going to see, it was at the Dollar Cinema in Las Vegas. I went to see Batman and Robin in theaters, and
nice.
that was as earliest as I can remember, like vividly seeing, going through the whole thing and the whole popcorn and then just going in and standing in line in the auditorium. I mean, it's tiny, but to me it was really big, and at the time it was just huge.
Bro, I saw that the night my mom got married. I left the reception with relatives and we went and seen it.
Oh wow.
I saw that in the theater too.
I bet you thought it was dope.
yeah, like 1997. I was 11. Yeah, bro. I wasn't tripping over. I wasn't tripping over nipples. I wasn't tripping over bad script, bad effects. Bro, it was Batman.
I loved seeing Arnold. I had met Arnold like the summer before that.
That's
the
what's
Inner
up.
City Games.
Probably around the time he was filming, right?
Yeah. So it was cool. It was cool to see him in the movie.
Yeah, and I was a big Arnold fan. Yeah, and Batman. I liked Batman Forever at the time. Like I said, I was 11 years old. Like at that time, Batman Forever was dope as hell. I mean, Batman and Robin was dope as hell. All right, so your friends, family, people that really, really know you. Like, what's a movie that you really like that they'd be shocked to hear?
That I really like to be shocked to hear? Sleepless in Seattle.
Hey, that's a good ass pick. Like, I had a similar answer.
Yeah. Sleepless in Seattle, man. Yep.
Yeah, that's good. What's a classic that you've never seen?
Okay. Believe it or not, I've never seen Good Will Hunting.
No shit.
No, man, I need to watch it. I know I need to watch it, and I think there's a 4K for it too, so it's almost like
I believe so.
Excuse.
Yeah.
But I still need to watch it, man.
Man, yeah, just for like Damon and Affleck writing it, and man, you're an Affleck guy, bro. That's a violation.
I know, man.
Robin Williams Oscar. Yeah, that's a great movie. What's the movie that you've been meaning to rewatch, but maybe you just haven't had the time to throw it in, or whatever the case may be?
What's that? I own it too. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Okay.
I saw it in theaters, and it's one of those movies where they pack a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot in it, and I own it. I have it in 4K, and I've just been really wanting to rewatch it. My initial reaction was, it was a good movie. But just to soak it all in, it definitely just one of those movies needs a second watch. Yeah,
I need to rewatch it too. Like, I'm in the minority that I didn't get it, so I need to rewatch it again to just see man, what did I miss?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely need to watch that one again.
All right, man. So last up, what's a movie, whether it was a theater, whether it was at home, when you watch it, it just left you disappointed? The original?
Or Love and Thunder.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're not
Yeah,
the only one to say that too.
yeah, man. A little disappointed in that, but maybe expectations were too high. But yeah, kind of disappointed on that one.
Man, Feige, Disney, Marvel Studios giving Taika too much leash.
Yeah, for sure. It's just again, like we have, they raise the bar when they're home runs. When they hit a home run, you get left on this high, and then you just expect the next one to be a banger, and then another banger, and then it's just like, yeah. So you kind of get like disappointed after, and it's important too for me, especially me, to stay off the internet with like rumors and stuff and things that you expect that might happen, and like it's like legitimate nothing that you expect it happens. But yeah, I have to say, Thor: Love and Thunder has been one of those. For the first time in a while, I haven't really been disappointed on that in a while.
For sure, man. Once again, man, I appreciate you jumping in with us in the discussion. Like I said, we'll bring you back eventually for a group discussion, man. So
yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for having me on, bro.
Yes, sir. Move on to the next person.
All right.
Next up, my guy Rocket, who I jacked this episode. Like I know for like the 2 or 3 of y'all at the end of last episode, I was like, Rocket doing the topic for this episode, and then I got this idea to do this Q&A, so that's my bad. Next episode though, I promise the topic is on you. So just running down these list of questions. What's your earliest memory of whatever it was that got you into like being like right behind you, like we're all the movies like me, like what got you into the love of movies, cinema, whatever?
It's funny because what got to me was, I remember on like every Thanksgiving we would go to my grandma's house, and my dad, my uncles, they watch the football games and all that, and I was young, but we always had this one day where it was King Kong. Like they started with the original King Kong movie.
Oh, that's dope.
And then it was Son of Kong, and then it was Mighty Joe Young, and then after that, later on the day, they had with Laurel and Hardy, Babes in Toyland, March of the Wooden Soldiers, and then to top it off, they had the 1970, I think 2 or 4, I think it was the 74 one with Jeff Bridges, that King Kong version. So it was like King Kong all day, and that's like the very first thing like I would every year that got me into like movies, and that's like the earliest thing I can remember to getting me into watching.
That's dope. So all-time favorite movie?
All-time favorite movie, The Crow.
All right.
Brandon Lee's my guy. Yeah.
That's what's up. Okay.
Yeah.
And the next one's like I kind of broke down to everybody. Like I hope it goes without saying, like all-time franchise, action, comedy, horror. So all-time favorite franchise?
It's Star Wars. Star Wars, even now, I mean, I know it's been rough.
Yeah.
But I remember growing up with it. I remember my mom, every payday she would get, it would be on Fridays. She would always buy me a brand new Star Wars figure. I never asked for it. She would just bring it to me and all that. So, like, Star Wars was my #1 franchise. So
that's dope. You're not the only one that's going to say that. Yeah, all-time favorite action movie.
Oh, man, it's tough. And I know I don't watch it as quite often as I used to, but True Lies.
God, bro, like, you my dog, bro. True Lies is so good. Like
it's underrated because like nowadays, like it was tough because like I know we were talking. I was saying like most recent like John Wick, because I'm a big Keanu Reeves fan, but like that whole gung fu thing they do is crazy. But to me, it's True Lies. That could be on like I could be flipping through channels. I see it on. That's staying on.
Right. That's staying on. Respect Terminator T2. Respect.
Yep.
Respect Aliens, Avatar, Titanic, The Abyss, but True Lies, in my opinion, is James Cameron and Arnold Schwarzenegger best movie.
I agree. Comedy?
The all-time favorite comedy?
Blazing Saddles. I could watch that movie like every time I watch it, I'm always laughing. Always laughing.
Dope. All-time favorite horror movie?
Horror movie? It's definitely the original Halloween.
Okay.
It was crazy because I wasn't even 5 years old. My mom took us, we were in Puerto Rico, visiting family. She took us to the theater, didn't know what it was about. And when after that, she was like, we're never doing this again. So it was like, yeah, Halloween.
All right.
Halloween's my all-time one.
You damn near doubling down on a upcoming question, but nostalgia pick, like something you grew up with. Don't matter what the masses say. Don't matter who try to convince you what. You'll never believe it's a bad movie.
The Wraith with Charlie Sheen.
All right.
The Wraith. That's the one to me. What's like a movie that I saw that probably I was too young to watch as well would be Porky's.
Okay.
Porky's.
All right. Yeah, most definitely.
My dad would watch TV and he'd fall asleep watching HBO, and me and my brother would like hide underneath the table and watch movies that like after midnight were supposed to be watching and all that. I remember that.
Been there.
Yeah.
So, what's your earliest memory of going to the theater?
Earliest movie going to the theater, I think it was going back to it was Star Wars. Like going back to that, checking that out.
Ooh, that's
like
dope.
at the time, I didn't know, but that's what like I know in my mind. Like we went to go watch Star Wars. That and Jaws, I will say that and like it was more like Jaws 2, not the original, but Jaws 2. That was the other one.
Those are great pigs.
Mm-hmm.
What's a movie that your closest people, friends, family, coworkers, whatever, just would be shocked to hear that you enjoy?
The Wedding Planner.
I've seen that once.
Yeah, The Wedding Planner, and I'm not a big J-Lo fan, but like Matthew McConaughey's in it. It's like there's certain bits of it. It's just funny to me.
Okay.
It's enjoyable. It's one of those.
That's dope. So what's a classic that you've never seen?
A Sound of Music.
All right.
That's one that I've never seen.
Okay. What's something that you've been meaning to rewatch but haven't just gotten around to it yet?
I want to rewatch like the whole Matrix franchise again. And I've been wanting to rewatch because, like I said, when I first saw the first one, I had to rewatch it like when it came out on like home video and all that. I had to rewatch it like once or twice because like I understood in the movie, but I was like, did I get it right? So then like after I watched it like the second time, I was like, no, this can't be. Watched it a third time and I was hooked. But like I think the second one isn't too bad. The third one ain't the greatest. This last one is. I want to rewatch that whole franchise just to make sure about it. But I just haven't had a chance to get back to it. So
that's what's up. All right. What's a movie that the first time you saw it, whether at the theater, whether at home, it just bummed you out? The most disappointed you've ever been watching a movie?
There was a tie, but I gotta go with. Back to Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. I thought it was going to be like this massive, awesome finale. Like, did I enjoy for what it was? Yeah. But I expected, this is it. You know what I mean? You brought back, some of the old cast with the new cast, and it just, it's a shitty movie, but it's my shitty movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like,
there you go.
I grew up with. But, like, I'll rewatch it again just for the heck of it, but like I was definitely disappointed in that.
That's it. So, my guy, Rocket. Remember, 2 weeks from now, the topic is on you, big dog.
You got it.
Okay, next up, new face, new voice to the podcast. I like to let first timers like introduce themselves, whatever you're comfortable sharing, names, social media handles, whatever. If you want to go anonymous, that's fine.
No, you can call me Ivan. The rest of the social media, I'll leave it with you, right? But
all right. So again, same kind of concept. Like I got a lot of questions, as you know. You can go short answer as long as you want. You can talk as long as you want, and then when you're done, we just go to the next one.
Yeah.
So question number one was like, what's your earliest memory of like what got you into movies? Like what like clicked at a young age? Like I like movies. Movies are cool.
The Never-Ending Story really got my attention as a kid. I remember just falling in love with that movie, all that fantasy, all that. Man, I can't get that picture out of my head with the the dog that's also a dragon, and it's the kid riding it and shooting off into the air, and that's something that I think kind of just stuck with me, knowing like, hey, I really like this, I really like movies. So I think I might have watched that another 3 times and thought, man, I really liked this as a kid, but now it looks a little ridiculous. But I
Nah,
think
nah,
that,
it's nostalgia.
yeah, it really got me into it.
All right, question number 2, all-time favorite movie?
I had to really think about this one because it's not really fair to all the different genres, right? So I
Yeah.
guess if I figure out in my mind like what is it that I enjoy the most out of all these different types, whether it's comedy, horror, whatever the case may be, I think I like. Um, excuse my dog's playing with a toy.
Yeah,
Um,
I got a cat in here. It's all good.
it's movies that really make you think. And so I narrowed it down to 2 movies. Of course, is Inception. Of course, that dream within a dream, and then you have to really pay attention to understand what's going on. And another movie that is very much like that. That if you don't pay attention, you can get lost. Is Interstellar. So
Christopher Nolan don't miss.
yeah. So I narrowed it down to those two are probably my favorite only because you have to have some brain power to really understand.
Yeah, yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
um,
Um, question number 3, like, what's your favorite franchise? Like, to me, but if it's got a sequel, it's a franchise. You know what I mean? But then you got like comic book franchises that have their own franchises within that. So, what you got?
well, I guess it's probably no surprise to you that it's Star Wars. I mean, uh,
A little
get
bit.
my kid. I did get my kid started in the Star Wars. I have to explain the episodes to her because they're. I told her that well, this is actually happening before this other
Yeah,
scene or movie and things like that. So it's just hard to get away from Star Wars, and then of course with the Mandalorian and other follow-on things that go with it. I mean, it's a lot and it's great, and I think they do a good job of filling in the gaps. Uh, to me, right?
yeah, definitely. I'm excited for that Andor show coming up.
Oh yeah.
Um, number 4, I like. I put favorite action movie, hoping that everybody I sent the questions to would like say like understand like all time favorite action comedy horror, like goes without saying. So all time favorite action movie.
Well, I wanted to be a little different with this one because I didn't want to give like a regular, this is the norm answer, like uh, Rambo or something like that, right? But so uh, the one that stuck out to my mind, and I may have mentioned it to you before, is that movie Nobody.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was just done so well. It caught my attention, and then of course there's something that has said that could be anybody. It doesn't necessarily have to be somebody with training that could just flip on a on some bad guys, right? And take care of business. So yeah, that for me is one of my favorite actions, and it's kind of recent if you really consider all those other movies that came before it with the Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger classics and things like that. It's just you know for me it really caught my attention and I didn't expect it to, so it kind of got stuck in my brain.
yeah, yeah. I think Taken kind of like started a new trend of like old guys kicking ass, and nobody is definitely a standout.
Yeah, that got my attention for sure. Yeah.
So all time favorite comedy.
Oh man, it just depends. I mean, my sense of humor is not. It depends, right? So I have that like that background of being a dad, and that's one of my roles, right? So I really get the family dynamic, and if I go based off of that family comedy type thing, I like Instant Family. Instant Family is the one where they adopt the kids and then just they go through all these painful things and eventually they come out, understanding each other. And so I could relate to a lot of those things where the parents finally get upset and they're like, man, it's just a bunch of little,
Yeah.
without a word, right? but but yeah, you see, you can relate to that, so it's pretty funny. And then there's the other type of humor that I really like to get into, and it's the This Is the End,
Yeah.
uh, and Hot Tub Time Machine. Those are the that type of comedy is what I'm really into.
You'll get points with my wife for Hot Tub Time Machine.
Cool.
Favorite horror movie?
Well,
All time favorite horror movie.
all time favorite horror movie. One of the last ones that I watched with my wife because you know she got scared of horror movies because of it. Backstory to it is The Ring. We were watching The Ring. We were in an apartment. We were a young couple at the time, and go through the whole movie. And it's dark, it's pitch black, and then as soon as the movie ends, phone starts ringing, and it's like, oh hell no moment, right? So it was, no, so after that it was, man. I mean, you're talking good 10 years straight at least of just not watching any horror movies because it was couldn't share that experience with her anymore. It was just like, nope, I'm not gonna do it. So a lot to be said about you know how scared that she got, and then it kind of goes with your relationship, right? If it's something that you share, go and watch movies together. Not really gonna continue watching horror movies without your person, right? So
Yeah, that's hilarious. Nostalgia pick. Like, what's a movie that you love that stuck with you since childhood that maybe you look back at it, it's not as good as you remember, but like nobody's gonna convince you that that's a bad movie.
that had to be for me. It had to be Bill Murray and Ghostbusters. I like Ghostbusters. I like that what they did at that time. Maybe it's not the best. What would you call it? Animation or sim?
Like effects, yeah.
The effects are not the best,
It was '84.
but
We'll give him a pass.
yeah, it holds its own. I think it's good.
Yeah. I love Ghostbusters. Number 8. What's a movie that you saw when you were probably too young to supposed to have been watching it?
Well, the memory that comes to mind is living at home with mom and dad. I must have been a teenager at the time, but still young enough, maybe like a young teen, 12, 13 or something like that. I remember sneaking off and turning on the TV, and my dad had those channels, right? And now we turned them Skinemax. It's not really a movie. Turn on that channel after midnight. There's something there to watch. It's entertaining that you probably shouldn't be watching.
Oscar caliber music.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was always like you gotta be real careful not to wake anybody up or whatever. But hormones and being that age, it was just like real easy to just, hey, you know what? Let me go watch some of that.
All right. What's your earliest memory of going to the movie theater?
It might be one of my favorites because I remember going to the movie theater, and there was a Kmart that was close to the movie theater. We would always go buy snacks and sneak them in, but I remember it being a really long line to watch the Mortal Kombat movie. That first one, I don't know when it came out, but it was that first
95.
Yeah, and I remember it being such a big deal, and I feel like at that time it hit the mark. I was excited about it. I had the game at home, so the fact that we kind of watched the movie, came back home and played some more. It was just kind of a good time.
Yeah, that's dope. Almost 30 years later, that's still one of the best all-time video game movies.
Oh yeah.
All right. What's a movie that your like inner circle, friends, family, maybe coworkers who know you close enough, which you wouldn't expect, would be surprised that you're a fan of?
I was torn by this one only because when I think it's like kind of like a holiday movie. It comes out is once a year on the TV. Is that Serendipity? I just enjoy it. There's something to be said about Serendipity that, I can rewatch it several times, and I never really lose the excitement of watching it. Yeah, it's kind of like not really like a movie that a male would say that he enjoys normally because machismo and all that other
Yeah.
stuff. But I like it. It speaks to me, and
That's a good one.
and you would like to think that somewhere destiny is working its thing, and somehow things come back in full circle, and it's interesting to me. I like it.
Yeah, that's underrated as a rom-com. That's underrated as a holiday movie.
Right.
All right, time to piss some people off. What's a classic that you've never seen?
Oh, the Godfather. And what's funny about that is
How do I hang up?
you're hearing hang up.
I was
Well,
looking for the hang up button because you haven't seen The Godfather.
No, yeah, I haven't seen The Godfather because I don't know what it is. It's just I feel like it's gonna be just like any other mob movie that I've seen, even though it's a classic. I feel like I've seen it, been there, done that, even though I haven't really seen it. It's just like a typical
See, like,
mob movie.
if you haven't seen the original Halloween, but you've seen like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Child's Play, you still got to see the blueprint. So if you've seen Carlito's Way, Scarface, Goodfellas, you still got to see the blueprint. So when we're done, you're going to have to get some Paramount Plus, free preview, free trial, whatever it is, and just watch all 3 Godfather movies. That's a wrong that has to be righted. See, like, number 12 was kind of a question, like, for me, because like I rewatch a lot of movies. I don't know if like the casual moviegoer like rewatches, because my wife is like, I've seen it once, I don't need to see it again. So like I'm that weirdo that rewatches movies and enjoys rewatching movies. So like, what's something that you've wanted to rewatch for a while and just haven't had a chance to yet?
Well, see, that's the thing. I rewatch movies. I'm a big fan of rewatching movies. I can't get enough of some comedies, like Dodgeball or
So good.
Yeah, I can't get over it. So I go watch it again. Elf, it's just so on those, I'm actually able to watch them with my family and not have any problems with them being okay with rewatching movies, right? But the one that not everybody gets and I don't really get to share is Interstellar. I probably rewatched it maybe once after seeing the initial movie, but I like to rewatch the sci-fi stuff.
Yeah. See, like, I'm that nerd that like he's doing Oppenheimer next week, like the dude who created the atom next summer, the dude who like created the atom bomb. So I'm that nerd that when that comes out, I'm watching Memento, Insomnia, Dark Knight trilogy. I'm watching all Christopher Nolan movies before that comes out.
Right.
Last question. Whether it was like the theater, whatever, like first time watch. What's the first time that you saw a movie and it's just your memory of like the movie that disappointed you the most? We got to end on the downer.
Yeah, we got to end on the downer. That's fine. I remember being in the theater, and normally I don't get disappointed by movies. Normally I'm watching a movie and I try to get as much out of it as I can. I've never really like gotten up and walked out of a movie. That's not my thing. I'll just sit through it.
Yeah, you paid for it, right?
Paid for it, so you might as well just finish watching the whole movie. But I remember Space Jam. I'm being disappointed in the middle of it. I was just like, oh my God, like, why am I not liking it? What is it about this movie that I just not liking it?
Last year, right?
Yeah, last year.
Okay, it can't be Michael Jordan.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm not going there. I guess maybe I was comparing them, and maybe I was just like, dude, this is like not good. Maybe it was too predictable. I don't know. The fact that that thing where you said you paid for it, you might as well just watch the whole thing. That's kind of like the only thing that really kept me in there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this was about as fun, a little more fun than I expected it to be. Uh, First time on a podcast, man. I hope you had a good time.
I did. I
And
enjoyed it, and thanks for inviting me on and making me feel comfortable.
yeah, for sure. I'll figure out how to bring you back when your schedule opens up. When we're not doing nothing, we're gonna move on to the next person. All right, second to last up on this Q&A, but not second to last in your heart, ladies. We got E-Sig. What's up, homie?
No, what's happening?
You want to hit that Nick Cage right quick?
Right. Trying to get my angles right.
My man is in a straight office setting, looking like he got a map of the world and awards on the wall.
Just random.
Hell yeah. So I put together like a baker's dozen worth of questions out here. So let's just kick it right off.
Mm-hmm.
What's your like earliest memory of what like got you like hooked into movies and cinema and just becoming a student of the game? You know what I mean?
So that's a double answer, because that'll be, I have a older brother, and because of him, I was able to have access and watch movies that I probably shouldn't have, and that's a specific question.
We get into that down the line.
But no, so yeah, it's definitely my brother and father. My father used to watch westerns and stuff like that, so we watching was it Sergio Leone westerns and Clint Eastwood stuff. And back in the day, they weren't respected unless you were a diehard fan, but people would come to see it. It was great filmmaking.
Yeah,
the spaghetti westerns and whatnot. And my brother, he was a horror guy.
Okay.
And he got me to Alien and The Thing and stuff like that, and we just, so yeah, that's basically it. We watch movies, for all you young folk watching, we used to go to a place called the video store. Rent and buy tapes.
VHS.
Right, VHS. You know what? I take it older for you. Beta. You probably don't remember that.
Nah. I'm too young for Beta.
So, long story short, the equivalent of Beta and VHS is the equivalent of HD DVD and Blu-ray. Yeah, and VHS won.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's an L.
So that's all it was. But the thing is, Beta was better quality, but it cost more to make.
Okay.
And you had to buy, it had space limitation. You had to get 2 tapes for one movie, every movie.
Damn.
Yeah. So that's how VHS went out. But anyway, yeah, that's...
Ain't that much shelf space.
All right. Yeah, that's about it. So my father and brother definitely
influences
got me in.
So, what's your all-time favorite movie?
Man, a movie that's getting a Criterion. Better late than never. It's coming out in September. I don't know, but it's Spike Lee's probably his 6th Criterion, Malcolm X.
All right. Wasn't that in a November announcement? They just announced that shit like in the last week.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, and, Criterion. I know y'all Rec League fans. Put the Five Bloods on Criterion. Shit.
Yeah, it's not on any physical media at all. Right?
Like Netflix is like holding out. You know what I'm saying? Like it's got to be some contractual fine print that Netflix is just like, no, it's ours. Like the Chappelle gif.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But it's the Irishman Criterion.
The Irishman and Marriage Story both got Criterions.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's like, dog, like,
I need the Five Bloods.
Yeah, I need the Five Bloods on physical.
Yeah.
And Mank, just to complete my Fincher collection, Panic Room and Mank need physicals. I ain't even like Mank.
I love David Fincher. Not a bad movie, but he made it a little too old school, and it has that old school pacing.
Facts.
It ain't to grab your popcorn, type of movie.
Nah, whatever he do next, I need that murder mystery vibe back. So
But yeah, Malcolm X is I think it's just the perfect 3-act structure, beginning, middle, end, and I think it's one of the best based on a real person story arcs.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And of course, we were watching. This is funny. Yesterday, me and a friend of mine were watching Virtuosity. Remember that movie?
Vaguely.
Denzel and Russell Crowe's first American movie.
Yeah.
And that came out in '95. We were talking about Denzel, how good he was looking.
It was like
physical, and he was 41 back then in '95.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like American
But anyway,
Gangster, like flipped the script, all right. Like he was the hero,
Yeah,
Russell
with the
Crowe was the
protagonist.
antagonist. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Malcolm X, he had to have been late. But Al Pacino got the Oscar that year for Cinema Woman. I think that was a mistake.
No, yeah, that was the Revenant Oscar.
Yeah, and Malcolm X was all but ignored for the Oscars. If you go on Spotify and punch up that score, like, man, no original score nomination. I think he got best costume. I forget her name. It's Ruth something, Ruth Carter, and that's about it. But anyway, it's 3.5 hours, but it doesn't seem like it.
Malcolm X is
But yeah,
long as
Malcolm
fuck.
X.
All-time favorite franchise.
Whew, so I almost picked Lord of the Rings, but The Hobbit knocked it down several pegs. So it's a current franchise. My answer, Mission Impossible.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
You might be the only one to end up saying that.
I mean, I think it's the rare series with no weak links. Even part 2, people, I don't know what it is about John Woo. It's different. Part 1 and 2 are so different, and I think it was a jarring type of thing, but they're not
Definitely. That was my favorite thing about that franchise was that they used to change directors every movie, and then like Chris McQuarrie and Tom Cruise got this bromance going on, and he about to do like his 3rd or 4th straight Mission Impossible.
And that wasn't by design either. You remember the gap between part 1 and 2 was
For like 4 years.
Yeah. And so Brian De Palma and Tom Cruise didn't get along for the first movie.
No shit.
Yeah, because
that's the one that's the most like the TV show.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what they were arguing about. Cruise wanted to go more, I guess, action, which he would do later.
Yeah, facts.
Him and McQuarrie is probably vibing like that.
Mm-hmm.
And De Palma, I guess he got his way because he wanted to do the TV show vibe, which comes off.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and part 2 with John Woo is just, I think that's probably the most underrated movie in the series.
Yeah, like I rank it last, but I still think it's good.
Yeah, and that's the thing with that. When we do our list, you rank something last like that, but it's not because it's bad. It's because by comparison.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's like it's hit this stride where like every sequel just gets better. Fast and Furious was like that for a little minute, and then 9.
But you got to give credit to JJ.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, not JJ. I'm thinking about something else. Who made part 3?
JJ
right?
Abrams.
Yeah, I'll give credit to JJ because he set the tone with that 3rd movie.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Still the best villain.
Series,
Still the best villain. R.I.P. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, R.I.P. Oh man, that's And he set the tone for what it was because part 3.
That's got the best tension.
Yeah,
bro. He put the explosive in the head and then up the nose and shit. And man, Mission Impossible 3 is so fucking good.
The other ones when he climbing the Burj Khalifa.
Yep. Brad Bird.
And Brad Bird. That's what.
Fucking Brad Bird. Who would think that the director of The Incredibles, the Iron Giant, could make such a great live action Mission Impossible movie? And Paula Patton.
Oh yeah, I don't know why they don't bring her back.
I
but
swear, like it's to a point where like they've forgotten about Jeremy Renner, who was supposed to take over the franchise.
Yeah, he hasn't been in the last 2 movies, right?
Yeah, and Paula Patton, who was is it Maggie Q was in 3.
Yeah, that's right.
Like
yeah.
there's all these like supporting like members of the team that just end up getting dropped off. But
But yeah, but no. So before we get off of that, Tom Cruise is crazy ass. He
super crazy.
doesn't have to do. He's keeping the old school, I think, action alive with doing these actual stunts
Yep.
that he doesn't have to do. Hanging off a plane, skydiving, climbing.
We've already got
tall-ass building.
Yeah, we've already got the trailer for the one that comes out next year, and it looks like he like rides a motorcycle like off a fucking mountain.
Yeah, it's a skydive.
Hell yeah.
And the only reason he'll usually use visual effects is if the other actor doesn't want to do the stunt.
What's it called that they did in Fallout? Like a halo jump?
The halo jump.
That was crazy.
The only visual effects was a storm, but they really did that jump.
Yeah.
And Henry Cavill was scared to do it, so he had a stunt man.
Ruined Justice League and didn't even want to do his own stunts. So segue, franchise number 4, all-time favorite action movie.
Die Hard.
All right.
Yeah, we talked about how many times on either one of our shows have we talked about that movie? Is there any more we can say about it?
Die Hard is a mainstay on both of our podcasts.
Yeah.
Come out to California and have a few laughs. All-time favorite comedy.
Airplane.
All right, you old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
all-time favorite horror movie.
This is funny because it's like a photo finish between 2, but they're both directed by the same person. But I'm going with Halloween '78.
Oh, so it's not Jordan Peele. It's a inside Twitter joke.
Right. I love Jordan Peele, but
he'll get there.
Right. Get Out is high on a lot of my lists.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Get Out is damn near perfect.
Yeah.
Number 7, nostalgia pick. What's something that you grew up with? It don't matter who says what about it. Nobody's gonna convince you it's a bad movie.
This is tricky because in my heart, objectively, I know it's a bad movie.
That's a song. Which one?
Howard the Duck.
All right, we gonna go to number 8 on that. What's a movie that, man? See, like I'm talking to a bunch of '80s babies and '90s kids that grew up watching shit that they wasn't supposed to be watching. Yeah. So what's a movie? What's a movie that you saw when you was probably way too young to be watching it?
So this one for specific subject matter and scene in the movie, and can't say the word because this is gonna be on YouTube. We don't want them to, because there's certain words.
Hey, bro,
they don't like you saying.
Don't get my show. Don't get my show canceled.
So, no, it won't get canceled. But it's let me get the year right. A movie, 1988 movie with Jodie Foster and Kelly McGillis. Jodie Foster won the Oscar for this role. A movie called The Accused.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, there's an event that happened in the movie. Very graphic.
I'm gonna assume an assault.
Yeah.
So we don't say that word.
Is and very extremely young. I don't know how I got access to this movie, but I remember seeing it at a young age.
Good. Family was watching it and you was in the room. Just like most of us growing up around that time.
Probably. And I don't know where. But yeah, if y'all Google that movie, the scene won't be on YouTube.
No, hell no.
No. But good movie. Based on a true story.
Oh,
unfortunately.
Damn.
But yeah. But yeah, that movie, and like you said, we grew up seeing a lot of action movies and horror movies, but yeah, this one was the realism to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that. Look that up, y'all.
All right. What's your earliest memory of going to the movie theater?
Whew, how old were you? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1986.
Good year.
Wow, that's making me seem super old.
That's a good year.
So a musical, still one of my favorite movies to this day. I remember being in a movie theater and being amazed by this movie, Little Shop of Horrors.
So you like plants, Eric?
Oh yeah. No, Space Plant